Hello everyone, welcome back for video tutorial number 6 when we are going to introduce another examples that utilize the concept of object-oriented programming. Okay, this time we are going to implement this concept for the product. So let's go ahead and do this together. Okay, so let's go back to our web browser right here and I'm going to clean up everything from here, from scratch. So again, one more time, in Dash we need to have the endpoint, so we put main function first, and this is the end of the script, so I put es. Now in this case, we want to introduce the product entity where I have to support the product ID, name, QTY, and the price of the products, for example. Then this is what I want to do. I want to be able to store for products item and then make a report to show the total sale. Okay, so that's my intention right here. So what we should do is first we have to create the new business entity. So we come up with the name first. So in this case, it's the products, and this is our agreements that the first one will always be uppercase letter. Okay, we're gonna use title case to title our entity, and we also have to put the class as the prefix, and we put the brackets to denote the body of your definition. So that's going to be the end of the class. And keep in mind that when you use the comment for its bracket, it will help you out in the future so that you don't have any confusion about which bracket matching with which one. Okay? All right. And because we want to support these four different things, then we're going to go for ID, names, QTYs, and then we put it in the separate line like so. And this is your turn. You have to tell me which one is used to support the data type. So this is going to be used to support the integer. The name is the alphabetical letter, so we use string. QTY is going to be integer number, so we put int. Price could be real number, we put double. Okay, all right, so now that's gonna be our class definition. So now we need to also put the constructor to help us initialize. Constructor is a function that initialize object, okay, by the time object is created. So that's the the good thing about constructor. And again, the constructor is not just any other things, but it's a special function that share the name with the entity. So we put products as the name. The function require parentheses and brackets. Okay, the end of this we put ef. Now in here, as I told you that in constructor in C# in Dash, you can just simply replace that bracket with semicolon as well. In here, you put brackets, and then you put 3 different comma, and then if I were you, I'm going to put required and space for each one of this. So it's gonna be required, and required. So those information are required, and then you put ID, you put the name, you put the QTY, and you put the price. And also for this syntax, you're gonna have to put we referring to the ID of this object. Okay, so that's why we put the this right here. This is gonna be this, and this. Okay, so that is perfect for our constructor. Now we can now go here and let's create 4 different objects. Okay, for products. So we start up with the new product, and now each product you have to have a reference, we call object reference, we call P1 for product, like this. And then I can now just reference to the IDs. I'm gonna put 1, the name is gonna be P1, price is gonna be equal to 100, and let's have QTY equal to 1, for example. Okay, so you can simply, copy and paste, but before that, okay, just to let you know that in Dust, you can just remove the word new. So in this case, don't worry about using new anymore. But the reason that I keep new previously, because I don't want to get yourself confused, because now when you remove the new, this look like you create the new function. Am I right? You call the function and take those input parameters. Actually, this is a function, but it's a special function that creates memory space for you. And if you come from Java or C Sharp background, then you should know that you always need to have the news as the keyword. But from now on, you can just omit it like that. So that's good enough to create the new object reference, okay? And you can just go ahead and create 4 of this. Let's reference this as P2, P3, P4. You can say this is going to be P10, 11, 12, and 13. So that make it look a little bit different from the object reference itself. This is the actual product name. This is the name of the object reference. Why don't we use the same name? Because I want to show you that those are two different things. This is the actual name of the product. This is the reference in the memory. So it's different. Okay. This is going to be 2, 3, 4. Let's say that this is 2, 3, and 4, and we are selling 10 of this, 20 of this, 30 of this, and 40 of this, for example. Now, once you have 4 different objects, then you can group them. So contain the objects in the same list for easy navigation or iteration or looping, whatever you want to call it, but it's the same thing. All right, so we're going to say we are going to contain them in list number 1. So how about if I just put products with s, okay, equal to square brackets, and you can put P1, P2, P3, and P4. And you can also now on the left hand side of this, you can put var, but better to just put the data type, which is the list of product. This is to say that this list is used to store the product type. Okay, so now each object belong to this type now. Okay, all right, and then you can use the enhanced rule that you studied in the previous video. So we say for, and then we say that we're gonna each time we pick up an object, then we're gonna call p in the list name, which is the product right here. And then on the left hand side of p, each variable require declaration or declaration. So we need to have the variable type. So it's going to be product. Okay. And then what we want is that we want to make a report to show total sale. So now if you want to show total sale, first you should initialize the value of your total before you enter the loop. And that should be equal to 0 first. So that you can now have total equal to the total plus. Now each time you pick up the object, you want to open the price, okay? And then you open the QTY of that one as well. You multiply them, it's gonna be the item total. And then when you add it up with the total, that is why we should call them grand total. Okay, so let me rename this together. So that's going to be total. What about if I make it step by step? So first we have item total that will be coming from p dot qty multiplied by p dot price. So this way we say we pick up an apple, we look at the apple qty, we look at the price of the apple, we multiply them, that's become the grand total for each item. Then we say, hey, grand total, I want you to add yourself with the item total. Then by the end of this game, then we print out total, okay, sale is, and then we put $signs and grand total. You don't need to put dot or anything because this is already the number, it's not the object reference. Then you can just put like this, and you don't need to have brackets. Okay, if it is a single, just a number or text, then that should be good enough. No need for any brackets. Okay, now let's try to make it happen. So let me rerun this. Okay, the total sale is 30,000, which is correct. Okay, now you can accomplish the same thing. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to just put it and duplicate it right here. And then what I'm going to do is that instead of making local variable here, then I can directly just replace item total with this one directly. So I'm going to move it down here. Oh, sorry. I'm going to move it down here. Okay. And then I can remove this reference. Now comparing between the first one and the second one is, you can see that now first you make the variable, okay, to store this multiplication before you add them later. But when you want to make it efficient, you don't need to make any variable declaration. You can directly multiply this value together and add it this way. Now the output is going to be the same. All right. Now because you do it second time, the grand total value now have already override. So based on 0 it's become 30,000. So that is why you should always reset this one. Okay. Now I have another way for you to do the same thing. Okay. So let me just copy this and put it down here. All right. Now normally, so if you want to just make use of this equation like this, that's okay. It's just add things into itself. So in C# or in C language, then nowadays you can just remove this and you put plus in front of this. This statement is equivalent to this one, because now this is to say what I want is I want you to multiply these two values together and then add it into the grand total and then assign this addition back to the grand total. So this is a very useful operator. So it replaces this statement by just removing this and then put plus in front of this. It does the same thing. It's the same logic. And this is more convenient for you because you can type less comparing to this statement. Okay, now let me show you the output. So it's gonna show the same thing. Okay, all right, cool. So I think that should be good enough for the first, I would say, series for this video tutorial. So when you learn the use of all things considered for the basic element of further programming. Okay, it might take a couple days for you to absorb this understanding and then make your skill, develop your skill. I think it might be a good idea if you can also come up with some assignment by yourself. Let's say, for example, you want to create the script that allow you to manage maybe furniture or courses or anything like to-do item, so that you can print them out, you can organize them in the business context like so, and so on. Okay, until then, I'll see you again in the next series. Thank you.